I'm Naydja Bynum, president of Friends of Tremé Culture, a nonprofit that hosts the Tremé Fall Festival. Today we are going to be talking to Terrance Osborne, our beloved artist in New Orleans, who has produced this beautiful piece of art here. Terrance, thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with your background. What first inspired you to become an artist?
So my mom did art as a hobby, and I picked it up from her. But also my teachers encouraged me as a kid to do their bulletin boards and to keep drawing. I would always find kids at school who could draw and learn everything I could from them. So between my mom and other students, I learned everything I could early on.
Wonderful. Your work is so uniquely New Orleans. How would you describe your style, and how has it evolved over the years?
Most people are familiar with realism, right? So you make an image as realistic as possible. Like if you're painting a person, then you try to do it as close to the photo as possible. I do expressionism. So expressionism is more about what would that person feel like, not necessarily exactly what they look like, but how is their expression? What do they feel like? It's the impression or expression of that person that the artist is trying to capture.
Wonderful. Let's talk about this new piece you have created for our Tremé Fall Festival, our 10th anniversary. What inspired this piece that you've done here?
One of the main things that inspired it is I was doing some history searching on Tremé, and I found that there were free people of color in Tremé who pretty much built the culture that the world ultimately appreciates. So it had to start there for me. I thought if I'm going to do history, then I want to do the free people of color.
Wonderful. So tell me about this piece. Who is this lady, and what's the background about?
So this lady the piece is called Lady in Tremé. And it's basically, she represents the free people of color. And the thing that inspired me the most about it was that there was a guy named Claude Tremé he was a realtor and a hat maker, and he sold a lot of the land to free people of color. So at that time, I believe it was 1841, where these free people of color built St. Augustine Church. And so they also made a place so that the enslaved people could also worship in the church, which was not as common, so to push forward the sense of community, right? But I think the biggest thing is that she has this stare, and it's almost as if she is guarding the culture, and she's also expressing the culture at the same time. On her hat, there's a stage in a way, right? So that hat is symbolic of how we celebrate using second line, using the music, jazz, and so then the feathers also are like, they represent Mardi Gras, you know, that royalty in Mardi Gras. And right at the top, there's a bird, so a pigeon. He's silently watching. So basically, he's a silent witness to centuries of culture in Tremé. So the piece is real proud, and it's about how free people of color, who usually don't get history told. I mean, we've heard about slavery, and we know our history with that, but free people of color I wanted to honor our ancestors in that way.
Well, she's beautiful, she's proud, and she's like not afraid of anything. And then I see she's in the background with our church, St. Augustine, and the houses. I could just imagine what life was back then for her.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that she felt like she was a new breed of people, right? Because since Tremé is the oldest African-American neighborhood in the country, then they were like no others. And so I think she knew in a sense that, or even if it's not her, I mean, she represents free people of color. So, but in this illustration, she knows that she's doing something that is going to secure the future of Tremé.
I love her pearls, so she's a classy lady.
Yeah.
So tell me, why is it important for you to support the Tremé Fall Festival? You've been our artist consultant throughout our 10 years, and we have surely appreciated you. Tell me why it's important for you to be that person.
So Tremé is my early neighborhood. So I grew up around there, and I didn't realize at the time that I was contributing to Tremé's legacy. I mean, we have people like, we know Louis Armstrong lived in Tremé, and Trombone Shorty did. I'm not sure if he still does, but anyway, I think that adding to that legacy and continuing Tremé's culture and pride is a good thing. So Tremé Fall Festival is continuing that. It's probably the only thing that I think is continuing it to this degree. So of course, I'm proud to be a part of it.
Well, thank you, but we definitely, our goal, our mission is to support and keep the Tremé Festival representing the culture and keeping the culture alive in Tremé. So we really appreciate what you've contributed to our festival. Anyway, the poster will be available at the Patron Party, at the festival itself, and on our website. What do you hope people will feel when they see this piece and take it home?
I hope that people get a sense of pride when they get the poster, that they feel like they have a piece of Tremé that they can take home and hang on their walls.
Okay. So Terrance, tell us a little bit more about your work and your goals with your business and what you've been doing so everyone can know about it.
So I've been fortunate enough to be able to have some success as an artist. I know how hard it is for artists to make it. Yeah. And in this city, you would think, because we're so culturally driven, that every artist could thrive, but it's not that easy. So I feel like I'm in the NFL of art. I really feel like I'm lucky to be able to do what I love and make a living out of it. So I've done 6 Jazz and Heritage Festival posters so far, and these are among the most collected posters in the world. I've also done work for Heineken and Coca-Cola and Raising Cane's and Barks Root Beer, and there's a lot of partnerships I've had, and this one hits home for me though, because it's home. You know, I don't have to take a product and add New Orleans to it in any way. It's already New Orleans, so it's definitely personal to me. So when I graduated from Xavier University, I became an art teacher. And my wife, who's my business partner as well, she's always supported my career. And so I learned all my business moves from her early on. And but she's now a meditation guide. And so we just purchased a building that is about 5 times the size of the one that we have currently on Magazine Street. And so we're expanding, and we're joining our businesses together. So it'll be Terrance Osborne Gallery, but also my wife's going to have a meditation portion of the business, which will sort of flow all the way through and end in this meditative spot where you can potentially take your shoes off if you like, and get a sound bath and meditation. So it's all about healing and all, and I can't wait till we build it out. It's going to be good.
And where is it located?
The gallery, my current gallery is on Magazine Street, but the new gallery will be on Huey P. Long and 11th, right in downtown Gretna. Okay,
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we would wish you luck for sure, and continued luck, because
you
are special to the city of New Orleans, and we appreciate you in the city of New Orleans, as well as being a part of our Tremé Fall Festival.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Purchase the Terrance Osborne poster at TreméFest.org and at Tremé Fest. Live music, food, art, and fun. October 25th, 2025.